Hey everyone, welcome back to Shadesztown. I know I said I was going to work on the mob/XP farm this episode, but I had kind of a pleasant surprise. If you remember from the stronghold hunting episode, my wife and I came this way and we're swimming through this water, swamp water, and decided to go around this jungle. Well, there was something we missed that is super exciting to me. I mean, perfect placement for it. You might have seen it by now if you look to the left of the screen. Right there. Very close to base, just past that desert, kinda. We have a swamp hut. And if you don't know what those are, they breed witches. And so we need to bring on some witch farming so that we can get some glowstone, especially so we can build the lamps. I don't want to make my wife go mine everything in the Nether. She's willing to, but I'd rather build a farm and just kind of AFK farm it. So we are going to convert this into a farm. And I just watched Doc M. He has a video out about it. And let's see if I can remember everything that he said. The spawn area, that witches will spawn, is basically this roof. And the roof... Whoa, whoops. Guess I should look where I'm going. And the porch. So, and then you can only make 2 layers, and the first layer that you make, the bottom layer has to be right there. So I'm going to clear this out. Okay, now that is basically done. These are the 2 spawning pads. That will be the roof that extends out. You have to do 3 things to make a good witch farm. The first thing is air blocks. So I need to clear out all the trees and some of the dirt for about a 20 block radius around this. So I will do that and be right back. Okay, that's cleared out pretty well. The 2 other things that you need to worry about, you need to light up everything within a 128 block radius, including caves. My goal this episode is to get at least a couple witches spawning on these pads and make sure that that is working. Then I can tweak it better later. But to make the stuff pure dark underneath, you go 15 blocks out. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now before I fill those in, obviously when I fill them in, we're going to have a chance of getting monsters under here. So I am going to build just a little. Okay, as I'm filling in these bottom pads, I actually wanted to show you we had our first witch spawn in. So let's kill this. I've actually never fought a witch, so I'm not exactly sure how to... That was pretty easy. Cool, I do have a potion of healing. He dropped one. Good. Or she. It. So anyways, I wanted to document. That's the first witch I've ever killed. I usually just build and don't explore much, so pretty cool. Hopefully, I don't die. How much time do I have? Oh, okay, I'm good. So, I will get back to filling in half slabs now. Okay, I've got the pad covered. As you can see, we've got a decent spawn rate. Well, I wouldn't say decent spawn rate, but we have a decent amount spawned right now. I haven't finished placing torches out. I haven't done any caving either. But I think our farm's gonna work out pretty well. With this being over here, I think I might change my plans on the entire city layout. This next part I'm just going to commentate. It's a whole lot of work that went into it. I decided to try to do an automatic system to push them off of the paths, and in these Let's Play I want to be pure vanilla. I'm not even going to try to use game exploits. So originally I wanted to do the shifting floor that they just fall through, but that's definitely an exploit. So I decided to have water push them off, and for this top pad, as you can see, the water's just above it. And so I put those cobblestone pads around and placed these tripwire hooks so that when monsters spawn, especially too high monsters, they will trigger it and the water will push them off of this top pad. It does take up air blocks around, so the spawn rate of the witches can go down. I can't decide which one I want to is more important for me, getting them off the pad or spawning a ton and waiting for them to wander. But anyways, this is the basic top pad working. As long as they're up there, the water will be pushing them off. Then when they fall off, the water turns off. This bottom pad was a little bit different. So as you see here, I was kind of just testing the top pad to see if they fell. Okay, we got the top working. Now I got to work on the bottom, and the bottom is going to be a little bit more tricky for a few reasons. Number one, I don't have room to put that same system where a piston releases water. Number two, I don't want the mobs that fall down from the top to trigger the bottom. It would just kind of slow down the spawn rate. So I do have an idea of what I'm going to do. But first I need to prepare it, so I'm going to kind of clear off underneath. Okay, so what I was thinking is using a dispenser. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be right there. Basically, just place a water bucket in there and use the dispenser to push them off. It's a little bit tricky, but I think I've worked it out with a pretty good system. Hey, put that back. Okay, now we're to the first part of the more technical stuff here. I basically need to make a low-pass filter. For those who don't know what that is, a low-pass filter is a circuit board component that allows a low frequency, or slow frequency if you want, to pass through it, but a high frequency can't pass through it. Radios and stuff, I mean, they're used everywhere. But, well, filters are. Frequency filters are used everywhere. But, to do that, I had an idea where if you go like this, you can put, say, a couple items in there. And if you notice, they are only in this hopper. But if you pull it out, they transfer over to this hopper, and then that hopper becomes empty. And I need to turn that, and they come back. So basically, they toggle back and forth based on that. Now, the way that the filter works, if you only put one item, let me throw some cobblestone and a comparator right here. And we'll put something there. And let's just put a torch right here for now. Okay, so to show you the idea, look at that lamp. Right now it's off. Now, hopefully we can... How can I do this? I'll just put something right here. Okay, we'll go like that. So I'm going to flick this torch on and off. Like, I'll break it and then put it on. And if you watch that lamp right now, it should turn on pretty quick. Yeah, see, it turned on like right away. But if you come down here and add more items, say 3 items, now if I do one that quick, it won't turn on. See how it's not turning on? See, even with that, do more, now it turns on. So basically that's the filter right there. So the theory behind it is this little bit right here, that block, that powered block and that torch controls which hopper is allowed to receive stuff. And if you break it, when it switches, obviously the stuff can move, but it won't move back. Okay? So all the stuff will move over as long as that stays the same. And so if you have just one item, the stuff will move over fast, which will turn that lamp on because this comparator will turn off and turn that lamp on. But if you have more than one item, like we have now, it's going to be a lot. So let's let it recharge. Okay. So now you break it, and you can wait quite a while. You see that? And it didn't turn on. So that's the filter that I'll be using. Basically what's going to happen, the mobs that fall down, here, we'll go like this. So the mobs will up there will come over and fall down, and they'll fall straight down. And they will only trigger this tripwire for a few ticks, a couple ticks, 3 ticks. And so we would use this and say we have 2 items in it. Those mobs, as they come down like that, will not trigger this lamp. However, mobs spawn here on the pad will stand here for more than 2 ticks, say 3 or 4 ticks, and that will be enough time for this filter to allow this lamp to change. Pretty simple circuit, but pretty effective for what we need. Keeps the bottom spawning while the top is being flushed out, which is nice. Let's run our power over there onto that pad. Okay, so no light gets through, but the signal will get through. Let me show you. Say we put a torch right here. Now the signal gets through. Okay. So now we want to do 2 things with that signal. We need to get it up here to run into that block, but we need it in 2 states. We need it to pulse once when it turns on, which will be the pulse that turns the water on. And so after they're off the pad, we want another pulse. So to do that, I was thinking I use a similar approach that I did on the cow farm. Use 2 pulse limiters. The first one, say we go there, will that work? That might work. Let's see. Let's put an item in here just to test. Break that. That'll make sure we get a 1-tick pulse. Okay, that comes around. Alright, so I want to know if this is going to power that enough to get up there, and I think it will. And yeah, okay. So when it turns on, this pulse shortener will give it a tick, and then it'll turn off, right? The pulse shortener, that, here, I'll show you. So it gives it the tick, but then that turns off. So this can receive another positive edge trigger and be fine. Looks like we're going to want to move this a little. Let's just come off of that. Okay. So now we want to build another one of those. And let's do it right. Nope, let's not do it right there. Let's do it right there. Do the same thing on this side. Repeater with the tick. Okay, so now we build another pulse limiter that will give it a tick when that signal turns off. Okay, and that should be all we need. Okay, so now I'm going to put the string in, and that will basically get this bottom pad ready. With it being ready, I can test that thing I just built and see if it works like I want it to. Done, 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 done. Okay, we're all done. Now if the water comes up, it will go underneath. It'll take out that torch, but that's well, actually let's move that torch so we can save some light in here. Let's put it right there. Okay, which one? Right there. Okay. So now we're all up. I didn't remove the corners, but I'll worry about that later. Okay, so now if we come down here, we put our water in here. Let's jump in. The first time I'm going to jump in real quick and pretend I'm falling down. So I come in, fall down, come out, and we get nothing. But if I spawn here, and I'm here for a second, that's not working. Oh, I know why it's not working. Because of that torch. I locked it. Okay, so now when we test, let's go test and see. Pretend I'm falling down real fast. Shouldn't do anything. Okay? But now I spawn. I'm here for a second. Way too long. Something's still not working. Oh, I don't have a torch right there. I forgot I did that too. That should change it. But it's not. Gotta love debugging. Okay, we're on. Let's just test. That should turn it off. And it's not. What's going on? Okay. So, I fell down. It turned on. That means I need a little bit more items in here. Let's go turn it off real quick first. Fell down. Turned off. Okay. So, let's put 4 items and see what happens. Come in, come out. Nothing should happen. Okay. Oh, that one was too long. Okay, I think I'm going to need to debug it a little. And the turn on one's not working. Let's go see why. So there's just probably a little bug down here. Oh, let's pulse it on this one. Oh! That's why. That's a... I didn't put a comparator there. That's a latch instead of a pulse shortener. That should have been off. Okay. Let's increase the length of the poles. Let's not. Okay, so it's off. Come in. Fell through. It shouldn't turn on. Spawn. Stay on the pad a little bit. Turns on. Let's make sure I go out here. Fall off. And it turns off. Okay, that should be working just fine. Same over here. Turns on. I actually don't want to fall. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do it. And it should be back off because it pushed me off. And it's off. Okay. Pretend I fall again. Oh. Oh, see, it turned off though. So even though it registered that I fell, it turned off. And up there is good to go. Let's darken it up there. So after darkening up above, I wasn't quite getting the spawn rate that I wanted. So I am down here filling in the caves with light. This is just a cave that was connected to my drop shaft. Here's my drop shaft where the mobs come and die. And I figured I'd show you some more monster fights. This one got pretty close actually. But I'm just trying to block off this drop shaft so I can stick the hoppers down on the kill zone area. The up above, I ended up moving out those tripwire hooks a couple more blocks. To do the water, I had to have a square pad. Well, swamp huts don't give you square pads, so I added a couple of rows onto it, but the problem that did was now other monsters can spawn, including slimes that need a big old gap, so I had to move everything back so that if monsters spawn on those pads, they could also be pushed off. Don't know if I like that. I might just go back to an open pad with leaving them, you know, waiting for them to walk off. We'll see how this one does, but trying to make it work better. I'm in the caves trying to fill them up and collecting the gold I need to finish that wool farm as well. So I had to stop and get gold every time I saw it, at least until I ran out of my pick. So you'll see here shortly. My pick's pretty dead right now. It's gone. So luckily I could find my way back out. And as you see, there was a witch on there and it didn't spawn water. The water didn't push it off. I had one other bug in there. I just had to rerun the wire. Because I made it 3 wide, I changed the way that it got to the pad and just had to clean that up. So I just got that fixed right there. And basically that is ready to test out. I did notice that monsters were spawning on the half slabs, at least it looked like. They were spawning right there. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please send me a like, and as always, thanks for watching.